Order filled.
What's good, everyone? Welcome back to a new trade review, new market review for the day of Thursday, June 29th, 2026. In this review, we'll be breaking down how I got just over 129 points, also catching the high of the entire daily distribution, as well as how I had made just over $30,000 using Tradecopia. Again, if you're interested in that, I have a link in my description. And you're gonna get that. You're gonna use code FEAR. You're gonna get 30% off alongside a entire week-long free trial. So, in my opinion, it's the best trade copier to use if you want to trade again with firms like MFFU, Apex, Top Step, all of them together at the same time. That's why I use Tradecopia, so I can copy trade every single firm at the same time. But anyways, we'll be showing the trade accordion after I'm done talking here, and then give a in-depth breakdown afterwards. So catch you guys all then. Now time for the in-depth breakdown. So first things first, what we tend to do is go over my higher time frame analysis, pre-market analysis, and honestly today was one of those days where we actually go into the morning without any higher time frame context, and we're going to explain why. So before we go into my pre-market, we want to first go over the daily chart, as you can see here on NQ, ES and YM. And as we can see, we are just stuck within this higher time frame accumulation stage. Due to that, we don't really have any reference from the higher time frame that we can use, to have a strong one-sided bias. So immediately within our yearly, quarterly, monthly power threes, we aren't really given anything. And even within the development of our weekly power three, we had, immediately a strong open followed by FOMC yesterday. And going into today, it wasn't too dead obvious that we're just going to immediately sell off at open. It wasn't necessarily looking like that. Due to that, and due to the fact that overall structure at that moment was bullish, I was willing to go either way because, the idea could have been that price is going to rebalance the range below, return to our 2-week open, which is Tuesday at 6 or Monday 6 p.m., which is your Tuesday daily candle open. We rebalance the range below, then continue higher. Maybe YM seeks out the low of the week, puts in more manipulation underneath there, and then continue higher. Or we just continue the already pre-existing bullish structure. And again, to add on to the 50-50ness, we were presented with, in fact, I'm going to show my pre-market analysis. We're presented with both SMT at the lows, the SMT at the highs, and this was SMT of the exact same strength, meaning it's the exact same time-based highs and lows that have that SMT. And now due to that, that adds on to the 50-50 nature of what we're expecting going into market open. My idea at market open was, like I said, overall nothing is clear. I'm open either side, and I said that at 9:13. This is an EST, and I said I'll trade based off how New York Open delivers. Bearish if we manipulate higher first, and vice versa, meaning bullish if we manipulate lower first. And that leads us to directly at market open, where 9:30 opens. In fact, we're at 9 a.m. So let's go forward a little bit. Right here, 9 a.m. opens. Keep in mind what I had said. I either want to see manipulation higher to short or manipulation lower to long. 9:30 opens and immediately manipulates higher. In this manipulation higher, we're then given SMT with these internal highs. I guess not internal, but SMT at the highs with the YM putting in a higher high and QES putting in a failure swing. And from there, we then formed a cracking correlation with the next, or with the previous 1-minute candle, as we can see right here. So boom, we are immediately presented within the development of our 30-minute power 3, which I'm going to reference back here. We are immediately presented with an open high manipulation, SMT at that high, no SMT at the lows. This little cracking correlation here is not valid for SMT, as it does not incorporate time. The SMT that we do have at the highs, it does incorporate time. Cracking correlation to previous 1-minute high, and from there immediately starts to distribute lower. Again, it's beautiful how this was immediate. 9:30 opens, manipulation, does the manipulation right away, and immediately reverses, immediately starts to displace lower, and then immediately forms a 1-minute CISD. That was and could have been my initial entry. However, it happened so fast. Initially, I was thinking to enter off of the 15-second CISD, but I missed that. And then, as you guys saw in the recording, I literally just dropped down to the 15-second, and okay, I'm like, okay, I missed 15-second CISD, but what would my mindset be if I was already in that 15-second CISD? It would be, okay, I don't want to see this 15-minute imbalance or 15-second imbalance hold. We trade into it, we immediately form a down close candle, boom. Once you trade into it and then start to trade away from it, that little action of trading away from that candle from the 15-second civvy, 15-second civvy, that was my confirmation to enter. Stop loss went to the highs, TP went down to the low of the, what was that, the pre-sale low. And again, everything is time based. Every single entry, every single stop loss, every single TP is always going to be time based. My time based drawn liquidity was the previous day low. Even though we already had SMT with the YM, that was the only possible drawn liquidity that we could have drawn to if we were going to truly sell off. If we weren't going to truly sell off, it wouldn't make sense for us to not reverse or not to draw to anything above this. And of course, as we discussed earlier, EQ of the overall weekly range was already below us as well, in line with the 2-week open. So we also had a clear external drawn liquidity lower. Additionally, if YM wanted to draw to the low of the week. So we had multiple different clear draws on liquidity lower, giving the pre-stay low acting as a low-hanging fruit objective. And that is literally it. Honestly, I might literally just end the recording here because that's how simple today's setup was. It doesn't get more simple than that. There's literally nothing else you had to look at, nothing else you had to look for. It was literally 9:30 opens up, manipulates higher, forms SMT with your previous time-based high, previous quarter's high, low crack correlation on the 1-minute time frame, and immediately a 1-minute CIZ. It's that simple. And why would we not take a long here? Because there's no valid setup for longs. There's no SMT at the lows. Due to that, we can't validate a long setup. And It's that simple. It's literally that's the entire recording for today. Any questions, comments, concerns, just let me know in the description in the comments below. But super quick review. I just wanted to go over the trade, go over the profits, and of course, if there's any questions, just ask that in the comments and I will answer those.